space weekends to fill in some of those voids. They're being creative. My 2 cents off the record. Wait, any other? Yes.
Since you refer to my daughters, I just want to introduce them to Donna, Lunda, and Kayana.
Hey!
I'm totally mortified that I called it niggas out. But I'm a third generation Morehouse graduate. I'm also ARO. And so when Rob sent me the invite that came out, and I really appreciated the panels, particularly around what's being talked about in terms of the future generations. And this one spends a lot of time on Roblox and the metaverse, and the other one spends a lot of time on the platforms y'all work at. So I'm thinking about a lot of those questions. I'm thinking a lot about those questions, particularly coming out of the pandemic, because the pandemic has been really strong, and one of the ways that we were able to keep sanity is allow them to express themselves with people all over the globe, through those platforms. But what I heard being flirted with here a little bit is, which I wanted to hear, which is my question more about, is transhumanism. How far and when is that time going to come when instead of giving them devices to be able to develop certain expressions, and is it going to become a chip inside of them? Yeah, exactly. So we have part of us, we're already cyborgs, eyes and ears and all organs, we're already there. Just curious, because transhumanism was almost talked about, I just wanted to push it there with my question.
Good question. Getting a little away from the arts. Well, maybe it's related. This takes me back to discussions we had in business school about if there were some chip, that you could implant in yourself that would give you advantages, would you do it? Right? It raises all sorts of interesting ethical questions. It's generally about technology. I don't know, but transhumanism, I don't really know what that means. Is that just the idea that
it's like evolving yourself through technology and with technology.
Evolving yourself. Yeah.
Or framed in a different way, it's like in the future, there are going to be some humans that are looked at the way we look at cows. Like they're people, and then everybody else who has the enhancement is going to take things to a whole nother level. And you're going to choose to limit your children, so that they can remain human and the traditions that we have on them, or you're going to choose to go with the people who are going to move all of these texts, whether you're talking about AI, whether you're talking about blockchain, whether you're talking about NFTs, all the ways of interacting.
Yeah,
it's a choice.
Yeah, well, to me that's kind of scary to think about. Yeah. But it would have to be something with the brain, right?
Not necessarily.
Well, Elon Musk is working on it too now. No. To get implanted.
Let him do it by himself.
To get implanted in the brain.
It goes back to one simple question though. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
But I'll say this, right? Like already in like Sudan, there are already experiments of like super soldiers using like arms that are increased with metallic objects that have a chip in them, right? That allows them to pick up stronger objects or allows them to run faster. These things are already happening. So I guess the question is, will there be some type of like check and balance for that, right? Because in the future, those who have those enhancements will be faster, will be smarter, will think quicker, will have more memory and intelligence than us now who are considered regular humans, right? So it's.
You know what? Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. It's scary to think about. I think the context that you're talking about is a very competitive context. It's kind of me or them, us or them. I would hope that there's a counterbalance energy in the world that's more focused on collective we type orientation. So what we're seeing in the world with war in Ukraine and war in other places, that energy is now out there, right? And the tension with China, the energy is out there. So I think it's up to us as artists, us as people, certain people of faith, people who believe in the value of human beings just as human beings, to counteract those philosophies of us versus them, because that's just going to lead to that's going to lead to mass destruction. That's the only way. That's the only place that would lead to.
Oh, we have to put weapons, right?
Yeah, but it's a deterrent, right? Because they know, okay, like if anybody takes it there, nobody's gonna be here, right? Yeah.
I will jump in. Unfortunately for y'all, but fortunately for me, that'll be our last question. We, I think, covered a lot of ground, and the last question, the reason why I want to stop it there is because it orients us back into something that wasn't asked but's important for today, right? Why are we in this space, and why did the conversation even need to be had around art and technology, right? Questions that weren't said, but I thought were embedded within the conversation, within the space. What is art? Art is nothing but the human expression, right? I was here, we were here, and through our progression through this space, time, or existence, it's something that captures our spirit. I heard a lot of our panelists talk about how art and technology overlap, but technology can't really pull out that human element, right? Whether it's augmenting our creative process or replacing some aspects completely, right? In terms of delegating work or having additional resources. Art is connection. The internet was one of the first things that we had that at a mass and easily accessible way connected us as humans and it enabled us to have those conversations. But before that, it was art. So for folks who are following me that aren't necessarily too involved in the tech space, art is amongst that first technology. It's one of those tools that we use to say, this is what I mean when I say happy or beautiful. This is what I say when I mean sad or distraught within a certain period of time. So there is something important about the question, what is art, right? What is technology? Why are we here? Why are we connected? Why are these interactions valuable and important, right? We saw the internet come out and we saw businesses go from $1 million to $1 billion to trillion, right? And if there's some kind of value that's being captured in an economic sense, that's because there's already been a value captured in the cultural sense. So take stock of that, right? We talked about human in the loop technology, artists creating alongside technology, and what the ethical considerations are. But we're here connected, and as we are, what's the value of art? What's the value of conversation? What's the value of being here with one another right now? There was one more point that I was gonna make, but you know what? I forgot it. So here we are. Thank you all again for being in this space. Before we officially conclude, I want to give a special shout out to one of our key guests in the room, Mr. Ulysses. Would you mind standing up for a few seconds? Yeah! Would you mind standing up for a few seconds? Let me give the intro first. Let me not just throw them to the wolves, because I see y'all have some questions for today. Y'all not holding any punches. Ulysses is the curator for this space today. He's the founder, director, visionary behind Access Black Art. And the name of this exhibit, as you all are seeing on the walls and witnessing today in person, is called Speak to Me. I'll leave it at that. What did you want it to say?
I wanted to say, well, you just said everything that was on my mind, actually. And I apologize because me and my very good friend Richard Pelzer, we're laughing because you speak from where you are. And Rich was like, no, I don't agree with that. He goes, television. Right? I said, because you're old. Right? Because also we come from a time where I remember you only had one shot. And it was the perfect shot, right? And it was perfect because you were all together. All right? It's important that we don't, as you mentioned, take the human impact and passion behind art away. All right? We create our own narratives or remember our narratives, and then we put them on canvas, put them in song. Know who you are as young creatives. You're being copied every day. We cannot afford, all right, for us to be diminished. Okay? Even if you listen to your sound today and compare it to generations before, there is a change. All right? And it's called Speak to Me because what you have created today is the art of communication, the art of engagement. Okay, there are a lot of people that don't necessarily want us together and talking like this. All right? But it's so necessary. Okay? And so when I wrote, this came very organically. I had to look at the artwork. There was no title. So I had to look at the work first that was submitted, and that's how the title came, Speak to Me, right? It's like just that bouquet of flowers. That's Robert's work. And then this work is called He Gave Me Flowers. That's Will's work. This is called Bashful. All right? And I always tell people, don't forget to always get butterflies when you're in love. Okay? That's what art and music should do to us. It shouldn't be always just punch it in and make it easy. All right? It should be a part of the process. All right? And literacy is important, my people. Knowing how to write and feel your story is important. It cannot be lost. Okay? And space. So this space, the proprietor, his name is Dwight Smith. This was a part of his original plan to have a space here, a multi-use space that would also include a gallery. So that's why it exists. All right? And I've been here with Cafe Mellow since October of last year. And this year, for the next few months, I will be on Governor's Island with another organization that I'm the executive director of called Art Crawl Harlem, where we have an artist residency program. All right, watch this with Richard. And so Richard Pelzer is the project manager for Harlem Fine Art Show. All right, and so they will be collaborating with Cafe Mellow to continue curating art in this space. All right, so I look forward to that, and I look forward to you all coming to Governor's Island and visiting Art Crawl Harlem's house, 406B, Colonel's Row. Thank you, Robert. Magnificent.
Thank you. Before you sit down, we're getting ready to do a lightning round. The easy question. Where can we follow you? How can we stay in touch?
You can follow me at Scott Ulysses on Instagram. You can follow me at Art Crawl Harlem, Access Black Art. Really on all social medias, that's what it is. Art Crawl Harlem, Access Black Art, or Ulysses Scott, or Scott Ulysses. All right? Okay. Thank you.
Let's go down the road. Ronald, where can we find you?
Yes, hello, y'all. The primary way you can follow me is on Instagram. I am a poet, actor, monologuist. Speak period rhyme. SPEAK period rhyme. And there is a one-man show that I will be releasing in the fall. So please do tap in for that.
All right, you can follow me on Instagram at anthony.c.roberts. That's my personal page. There's a link to the Art Match Art Advisory page from there where I publish writings about emerging artists. So if you're interested in following the newsletter that I have, you can follow that page. And yes, I am an art advisor, so if any of you are collectors looking to build collections or know people who are looking to build collections, refer them my way. Thank you.
I am Brandon Lombard on Instagram, BREKAH_35. Shout out to the Ada Kappa chapter.
Ooh, I'm going to do a shout out to y'all.
Sorry, Incorporate at Spelman College.
Okay. You know I'm HK.
I am a proud member of, since we got all these A-roll folks in here.
Hey.
You know, I thought I'd throw that in there.
Tell us why you got that red hat on.
Right, you know.
Okay.
There you can, in my bio, you will find Unjaded Curations there, which is my curatorial baby that I am birthing. So we love to talk with you. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Boom.
You can find me at catalyst.speaks on Instagram. That's it. Spelled how it sounds. It's catalyst.speaks.
that leaves it to me to close us out on what has been fulfilling. I think might be the best word for me. Like I'm full after listening, after participating in a panel discussion like this. So one more time, let's give it up to our panelists and our moderator. Ooh, I gave y'all a few intentions, but I'm Southern and I got raised in the church, so I'm always have an extra announcement. Where we